Hi, I'm April. I am a singer-songwriter and music teacher. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a journey into my computer, and we are going to use my outline to write a song. So let's go. So we're getting started just by looking at my songwriting outline, and there is a link to this in the description below, so you are free to check it out and follow along. But basically, this is the method that I use when I'm just trying to write a basic song structure. I think that outlining in general is just a really useful way to get started with writing a song. So this is generally the method that I would use for beginners or for people who tend to get stuck halfway through. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this beautiful method, and we are going to go over to songcraft.io. Again, there's going to be a link in the description to everything I'm using in this video. So I've already copy pasted everything from my outline into Songcraft, but you're free to mess around with this or do your own version of it. You can kind of go about it any way you want. And we're just going to get started with our main idea. I would enjoy maybe writing a song that's about current events, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll kind of see how it goes from there. But maybe something about quarantine or something about kind of how we're all feeling very stuck. The only issue I'm finding with that in and of itself is that it feels like a topic that might not last forever, or it might be a topic that might feel really, really dated really soon. And it might also be just a little too fresh for all of us. So I'm going to see if I can play around with that idea, but I might change my mind and we will see where the song actually winds up taking me. Now, just to prove that I am actually doing this on the spot, I'm going to use this random word generator to give me a few words that I have to use in my song. So I am going to generate ceiling, jacket, and equinox. Oh my goodness, those are good. Okay, so ceiling, jacket, and equinox. I'm going to copy paste those into my page here. I guess I'll put them right here. Paste. So let's get started with that main idea. So what is my song about? I guess we're gonna make it about feeling trapped inside, maybe? Feeling trapped inside. Or maybe just generally feeling trapped, because I feel like feeling trapped inside is very modern as far as problems go. But I do feel like feeling trapped is something that can be kind of universal and can maybe be relevant now or later. Also, that word jacket makes me feel very trapped. Like maybe the idea of wearing a jacket that's too small, or maybe like a straight jacket even. Same thing with the ceiling. Ceiling feels like it could be kind of coming down on you. So I like the idea of maybe just using that feeling of being trapped as opposed to using something more specific to quarantine. So now that we know what our main idea is, I'm just going to start writing it wherever we have a chorus. And the reason that I do this is because when we actually go back to the chorus, we know that the chorus is the same each time we hear it. And we also know that that chorus is the part of the song that tells us whatever our song is supposed to be about, or how we're feeling, or how our character is feeling. So all we have to do right now is just write that phrase, feeling trapped. Now, this would be a really good moment to start introducing our story, our characters, our setting, and try to kind of figure out where, when, who we are. So I'm kind of debating here whether I want it to be like, I am trapped in my bedroom for days on end because, the world is a fiery apocalypse, or because, we're just trapped in our own heads. And actually, now that I say that, I'm really liking the idea of that feeling trapped becoming a different thing as the song goes on. So at some point, it could be about physical entrapment, but at another point, it could maybe be that we're feeling emotionally trapped or mentally trapped, like we're trapped in the box of our own heads, or we're, somehow trapped in our own thoughts. So I think that's what I'm going to do at the moment. I'm going to say the first one is trapped at home. Now, when I say verse 2, some people just refer to this entire section as verse 1, and that's totally cool. I think it's easier from a production standpoint to call it just a big verse 1. Whereas from a songwriting perspective, for me, I like to call it verse 2, just because it makes story writing and lyric writing a little bit easier for me. If I think of it in 3 pieces as opposed to 2 pieces, I can build my story in a way that feels like a 3-part structure as opposed to just a 2-part thing. So I'm thinking what I want to do for verse 2 is, instead of going right away into I'm trapped in my own head, because I'm thinking that's going to be my verse 3, I think my verse 2 is going to be about how, like, nobody is outside. Like, the idea that everybody is trapped in their own homes. So that way, when we kind of go over to verse 3, it's going to be like, trapped in my own head. And then that way, maybe like, I could even go further with that. I could even add a verse 4 if I want. But here I'm going to say, trapped in my own head. The other part could maybe be like, everyone is trapped in their own heads, or something to that effect. Like, I am thinking this could be almost like anthemic at this point. And if it doesn't turn out that way, that's okay, because it does not have to. But I'm thinking it might be kind of cool to have trapped in my own head individually, as well as this feeling that like everyone is trapped in their own heads. So I think that's going to be what I want to see in the chorus, is that feeling of feeling trapped, where in my verses I'm talking about like, this is what I am physically going through, and in my chorus I maybe go a little bit deeper, like, everyone is feeling trapped. We're all trapped. Everything is trapped. Blah, 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 blah. The tigers from Tiger King are super trapped, as is Joe Exotic himself these days. Oh my God, this quarantine. Ugh. Now here, I'm not sure if I actually would like to do a pre-chorus. So for me, this is going to be like just a solid maybe. I think it's going to depend on a lot of things. It's mostly going to depend for me on whether the harmony needs something to like kind of kick it into the chorus. And it's also going to depend a little bit on the lyrics themselves and whether it feels like I need something to kind of bridge the gap there. Speaking of a bridge, when I write a bridge, I use either a summary or a plot twist. And I think for me, as like saccharine as this sounds, like as just like sweet to the point of disgusting this is making me feel, I kind of like the idea of like, you know, we're all depending on each other, or like I can use this as a moment to kind of twist the story into like, even though we're all feeling trapped, we can communicate through the bars or something. Jeez, that got really Elliott Smith really fast. I guess we could maybe like make this a little bit more along the lines of we can all come together as a society, or seeing people through screens. Something weird like that. I think for right now, I'm just going to go for this idea of like society coming together even though we're all divided. That feels really corny to me though. So like, I guess we're going to kind of see how it goes. I think there's definitely a way to do this where it doesn't feel like sickly sweet, but I think a lot of that is going to depend on the harmony and the lyrics themselves and whether I can strike that balance. So now that I have my full outline, I can actually get started writing my song. So I'm going to start with my verse 1, which is this idea of being trapped at home. Now, when I write lyrics, I tend not to go for this idea of just like, I'm trapped. I feel like I'm stuck at home. I'm bored. I'm watching a lot of Netflix. And, you know, other such quarantine things. I also am probably not going to use the word quarantine in this song. We'll see though. It might wind up happening. What I do instead is that I like to use really image-driven language. I'm loving this word ceiling, because the ceiling is above you every moment when you're stuck in this quarantine, right? You don't see the sky except maybe at the top of your window, and that can be really disheartening and really frustrating. So I think I'm going to maybe start using the image of that ceiling. Maybe it's been a while since I've seen the sky, the ceiling is getting... Oh, no, wait, no, let's go back. I swear the ceiling is getting lower, right? That feels pretty good for me for the moment. I think this is also a good moment to start thinking about how that scansion is going to work with actual chords. So I'm going to maybe start in E minor. So I can either start, if I'm playing that E minor, those notes are E, G, B. So when I'm starting, I can maybe start on one of those notes. So if I wanted, it's been a while, or I could do, it's been a while, or ooh, I actually really like that one. It's been a while since I've seen the sky. Ooh, okay, I'm into that. I like it. It's been a while since I've seen the sky. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go to a C there. And what's nice about Songcraft is that I can write these E minors. Yeah, and you can see how it actually just makes it blue and nice. I swear the ceiling's getting lower now. It's been a while since I've seen the sky. I kind of want to get rid of the word the here as well. It's been a while since I've seen sky. Yeah, because the word the is just a little bit clunky, and now we have that seen sky, which is that alliteration, since I've seen sky. It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear I swear the ceiling's getting lower. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay. There's work to do. I don't know where that came from, but I think part of me is kind of using this as almost like an office lament. Like if you're stuck inside of your office with no windows, that would be just as frustrating as just like being home all the time, right? It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear the ceiling's ever getting low. I want there to be 2 more syllables there. I swear I swear to God the ceiling's getting lower. I like that. It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear to God the ceiling's getting lower. There's work to do and I'm telling you that there's nothing new and there's work to do. Yeah, that works. There's nothing new and there's work to do. I'm gonna put these on one line. It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear to God the ceiling's getting lower. There's nothing new and there's work to do. So what I did there is I used an A minor and then an A major. I guess if it's a single God, there would be a capital G there. So I'm just gonna put ooh. But that would be our verse 1. So we are trapped home, or, trapped somewhere. Now I'm gonna repeat these same chords. We've got C, we've got A minor, A major, and then we've got another C and an A minor. It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear to God the ceiling's getting lower. There's nothing new and there's work to do. Ooh. The sun is coming up at night. Ooh, I kind of like that. Okay. The sun is... Oh my goodness, if I could type ever. Okay, the sun is coming up at night. That's intriguing, right? I think that's cool. The sun is coming up at night. What about the equinox is getting closer. No, we need another couple of syllables. The equinox is getting ever closer. Okay. But no one wants to go outside. It's been a while since I've seen sky. I swear to God the ceiling's getting lower. There's nothing new and there's work to do. Ooh. The sun is coming up at night. The equinox is getting ever closer. But no one wants to go outside. Ooh. And something I didn't mention that's really, really cool here is that over on the right side of my screen, Songcraft has this really amazing thing that lets you listen to what these chords would actually sound like. So that's kind of a nice thing. There's also like this amazing little chord generator, which is really, really nice. Especially if you don't play an instrument, this is a really useful thing to kind of play around with. You can generate that progression and then just kind of listen to it a bunch of times until you've kind of got the groove of whatever you're doing. And at some point during this entire process, I'm totally going to wind up using this dictionary part, but we have not used it yet. But it's coming, I promise. Now, maybe I should go to E minor. Wait a minute. So we go ooh, and ba 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 ba. Okay, that's really hooky. I know it's the obvious choice, but it's really hooky and kind of delicious. So I'm gonna make it happen. Okay. No one wants to go outside. Ooh, ba 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 ba. So I guess I'm not using a pre-chorus. I know. If I were using a pre-chorus, I would go to C here, but going it over in my head, it sounds a little bit like the pre-chorus would take away from that hookiness of the chorus. So this is the part where actually I totally could just use that idea of like, I'm feeling trapped in a if I wanted to. Or I could find another way to say it, but this is the part of the song where you really do like, you don't have to use that really vivid imagery like you do in the verses. And here it's a really good opportunity to just like lay it on the line. Actually, though, I might wind up using really vivid imagery, even though I just said I wasn't going to. Oh God, I'm a liar. It's fine. Do you all hear these motorcycles outside? They're driving me crazy. Come on, people. Social distancing. Get in your house. The stars outside come crashing to pavement and da 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 da. No, stars outside is cliche. Maybe like the street lights. The street lights crash down into the pavement. Okay. The street lights crash down into the pavement. I want to use the word inside here. So the street lights crash down into the pavement. I'm inside. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. The street lights crash down into the pavement, but inside there's no. Now here's where I'm going to use this. I really like the word pavement, but if I can't find anything good, then I might change it. Maybe like we're all dying for entertainment or something, like, which is kind of like a messed up thought, right? That like everything's crashing down around us and we're just like, I'm bored. I'm going to watch Tiger King. That is a little bit preachy though. Maybe I shouldn't go preachy. Nobody wants to be like talked at, you know? Like nobody wants to feel like you're telling them what to think or believe. Instead, you have to kind of say things in such a way that like if you write something that's too preachy, it winds up sounding like I know better than you, which like just isn't the truth necessarily. Keep in mind here that there are also approximate rhymes. These are like all approximate rhymes because none of these actually rhyme with pavement, but it's kind of nice to have those approximate rhymes because it just makes it easier to find a rhyme, but it's also easier to be surprising, you know? Like, if you rhyme everything like low, toe, blow, Joe, it's gonna maybe get a little bit boring. And there are some songwriters who would fight me on this to the death. Some people just really, really feel like the rhymes have to be exact, and that's totally legit. And if you're one of those people, that's awesome. For me, I think it's kind of fun to find things that don't necessarily feel like they would rhyme, because it just allows for a little bit more spiciness, a little more excitement. Maybe it's just entertainment. The street lights crash down into the pavement, but it's a good something of entertainment. The street lights crash down into the pavement, but it's all fine, it's just entertainment. Yeah, I think that's actually kind of nice, but it's all fine. It's just entertainment. Okay, so now I can get rid of this dictionary over here and keep going. So yeah, maybe this is going to have just like a crunchy line at the end. Maybe like, oh, okay, I want my hook to be, I'll meet you on the other side. What do we think of that? That's kind of cool, right? Meet you on the other side. Like, because for me, that implies that, like, when all of this is over, we'll see each other again. But it's like, on the other side implies both, like, well, it implies a whole lot of things, because the other side of this feeling of entrapment, it's the other side of the world. It's like, it could be like, I'll see you on the other side of, like, death or something, you know, like, there are a lot of different ways you could interpret that line, which makes me think it's really cool. But I also think side has a lot of really good rhymes, so we're gonna have some fun with this. So I'm gonna change this no one wants to go outside from here, because I like other side being down here and I don't want to repeat that word side. So no one wants to see the light works. Oh, you know what? Instead of no one, because no one, again, that's preachy. So, but I don't want to see the light, because that has two meanings, right? I don't want to see the light, like I physically don't want to step out into the light, because remember, we're using words like equinox, like spring equinox, and we're using words like sun. So to use the word light here makes a lot of sense. I don't want to see the light also means I don't want to see the good side of this, or I don't want to see the other end of this, right? Like the light side of the force. So I think that's cool. Now we need something to rhyme with side. So the street lights crash down into the pavement, but it's all fine, it's just entertainment. Died. Meet you on the other side. At least I can say I tried. Been a while since I've just gonna swear I got this feeling and I what to do. The sun is coming up at night, the equinox is getting ever closer, but I don't wanna see the light. Ooh. And the street lights crash down into the pavement, but it's all fine, it's just entertainment. At least I can say that I tried. I'll meet you on the other side. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What do y'all think so far? Do we like it? Verse 3. Trapped in my own head / everyone is trapped in their own heads. So, been a while since I've seen sky, sun's coming up at night. Da 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 da. It's probably these same rhymes, actually, to be honest. And we still have to use this word jacket. I've used the other two, so just as a reminder. I'm liking already for that. Da 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 da. What about this jacket's getting tighter around my shoulders? What do we think? Because that could mean a whole lot of things, but jacket specifically, again, I mentioned jacket has the implication of either being like a jacket that you wear to go outside, or it could be like a straitjacket, right? That could be just another meaning of that word jacket. So just options. My skin is holding me too tight, something like that. That also gives jackets another meaning, right? My skin is holding me too tight, the jacket's getting tight around my shoulder. Yeah, so my skin is holding me too tight, this jacket's getting tight around my shoulders. Maybe my tongue is tied because these thoughts are new. My tongue is tied because these thoughts are new. And then we get that ooh. So now let's see what happens if I bring this chorus, copy, if I bring this chorus down here. And then should we add a bridge is the real question. So let's see what would happen in a bridge here. I'm kind of still very meh about this idea of society coming together, even though we're all divided. Oh, I used all my words. I didn't even realize I used all my words. Wahoo! So I'm actually going to get rid of all of this because I think it's just clunking up the page a little bit. Boop. And now we can look at the full song here so far, and I can add this bridge. So this bridge is going to be about, well, we'll figure out what it's about. Streetlights crash down into the pavement, but it's all fine, it's just entertainment. At least I can say I tried. I'll meet you on the other side. So if you've watched this channel before, you know that my personal impulse here is to go to G, because G is the relative major of E minor. And for me, going to the relative major or minor, depending on what key you're in, is a really nice way to kind of go about changing the tone for this part of the song where the tone is going to shift. Oh man, wouldn't it be wild if it modulated? Ooh, on the other side. Ooh, okay, wait, if I did. Get out of my bed, I would. Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah, let's do that way. Okay. And if I could get out of my bed, I would. Yep. So, and if I could get out of my head, and if I could get out of my bed, I would. And if I could get out of my head, What if I'd leave it for good? What do we think of that? Streets crash down into the pavement, but it's just fine, it's just entertainment. At least I can say I tried. I'll meet you on the other side. And if I could get out of my bed, I would. And if I could get out of my head, I'd leave it for good. And the streetlights crash down into the bam, bam, bam. Yeah, something like that. Let me bring this chorus down. Let's do a little copy paste-a-rooney. So then here, all I need to do is just make sure that this bridge leads naturally into this chorus. And could get out of my bed, I would. And if I could get out of my head, I'd leave it for good. And the streetlights, dun, dun. So I went to a D here and then like a D7. I don't know if that sounds any good, but I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, I think that's my whole song. So I used all my words, which is pretty cool. But also, I think I've written a song here that is not only just like about the time we're living in, but I think is also maybe relevant to other situations. And I think it also gets away from something that we tend to see a lot around situations like this, which is that preachiness or that feeling like the songwriter or the singer is telling you what to do or what to believe, which is not so fun. Having said all of that, stay inside. Do it. Stay there. Do not move. Don't even think about it. And hey, since you have tons of free time staying inside, you might as well listen to my new single, which is out now. Isn't that amazing? Ah! And if you are interested in listening to it, I will put a link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to let me know in the comments. Give this video a like, subscribe, and ring the little bell to be notified the next time I post.